Os. Welcome UNLV students to the Shotokan Karate Studies program. By now you should know you've already warmed up, you've gotten the warm-up that you feel your body needs, you're adequate for starting the program this morning. So let's go ahead and get started with our typical, quick, general warm-up. Ready? And Hajime. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. Go. Alright, warmed up good there. Let's turn to the side, bring our heels to our glutes. Good, alright. Let's go ahead and do some high knees as well. Get my workout recorded. Here we go. High knees. You can do this slow, just like I'm doing. Again, just bringing your knees up. You can do it fast if you feel like kind of bouncing a little bit, working your calves a little bit. Or if you want to go slow, go slow. And yame. All right, let's come up on our toes, stretching out our calves. And yame. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and do some body hip twist. And yame. Good. Arm up, across the side, stretching out our shoulder. Good, other side. Again, don't hold these too long. Just doing dynamic stretches here. Nothing too static, nothing being held for too long. Switching over. Other side. Good. Feet just widen shoulder width. Go down, touch the floor. Go to the right. Back to center. Go to the left. Back to center. All right, make that a little wider. We're gonna go down to the right, turning up on our left heel, stretching out our hamstring. Good, now we're gonna turn to the left in a long front stance. Pushing on the quad here, pushing the knee over the toe. And down to a runner stand, or a runner stretch. Good. Back up. All right, we're gonna do everything to the other side now. Leaning to the left onto the right heel. Toes pointed up. Stretching out your hamstring. All right, let's rotate that all the way around. Good front stance, long, deep, pushing on the quad, pushing the knee out over the toe, getting a good stretch. Transition that into a runner stretch. And come back to center, come back standing. Good. Turn around, fix your gi. Back to me. Yoi. Subirachi. Free. Yoi. Seiza. Dojo-kun. 一つ、人格完成に人を盛ること。一つ、誠の道を守ること。一つと力の精神を養うこと。一つ礼儀を重んずること。一つ景気の湯を戒めること。Ready? That's it. よい。スブラッチ。Ready? よい。So today's class is an advanced class, and we're continuing this week with what we did last week, where we did the Bunkai for the kata Kanku. All right, so just like last week, I said it was going to be a shorter class, but it ended up still being about 45 minutes. We're probably going to stick to that or just slightly less today. We'll not get through the entire kata. Again, we're going to go to a part 3 to get through the rest of the kata, and then we'll practice the kata a few times next week as well. So today, part 2, like I said, we're going to finish where we picked up, or we're going to pick up where we left off last week. First, we're going to go through the kata itself fully. We're going to slightly go over a couple of quick things just to reiterate what we talked about last week, and then pick up where we left off. And I kind of left off in a bad spot. And I'll address that when we get there, because it's really part of a longer sequence and I shouldn't have just stopped where I stopped, okay? So, same format as last week. We're gonna go through sections. I'll pause, give you time to pause the video so that you can practice a little bit longer, and then come back, hit play, we go through the next section, pause again, give you time to go through the kata or the bunkai and practice, and then come back to the video. Again, this is just how it would work if we were in a dojo, right? I would be working with a group of students. We would go through something I would demonstrate, and then I would break everyone into pairs, and they would practice those things, right? They practice exactly what we just talked about. I would move around the room, talk about each pros and cons, you know, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, kind of go through and give good constructive criticism, then come back to the front of the class and move into the next section. All right, so that's typically how a class would go, and that's how I would like today to go as well, just like last week with this same class. All right, all that said, let's go ahead and do the kata Kanku. All right, ready? I'm gonna move this timer. Okay, make sure you have room behind you. I keep forgetting that, and I end up cutting my kicks a little bit short here. Go through the kata, your own speed and pace, all right? Don't rush. Don't just try to get through to the end of the kata. Don't try to beat me to get to the end of the kata. Just go through it at your normal speed and pace, all right? Don't rush. When I'm finished, I'll give you time to finish as well, which will allow me time to catch my breath, because this is a long kata, and it will run you out of breath, okay? Ready? Yoi. Sudachi. Ready? Yoi. And now it's kata Kanku. Your own speed and pace. Hajime. and yame. All right, very good. So there's the kata. Again, that's a long kata, the longest kata that you've learned up to this point. So we're going through the bunkai today. Let's start at the beginning. We'll kind of go through this quickly to get to the part where we left off last week. Okay, so we started here at our starting position. We talked about this portion here being this block, right? This two-handed block, or push, right? So you can block and push, right? Then we talked about a punch coming in. As you step over, the arm goes around behind you. As you step in and double ridge hand to your opponent's sides here, like the liver and the kidney, right? As you come in there. Okay, so that's the beginning part to there. And we talked about this high Shotokan, right? We talked about how this is easily a block. So someone grabs your lapel here, you're trapping this arm as you block the strike coming in, and then moving in, trapping this arm as you strike to the carotid there, which is very typical of what we do with Shutokans, right? We block, sometimes we trap, stepping in with the other, and then another shot to the carotid. That's typical of what we do with our Shutokans that are back to back, right? From there, we come to this position. So again, a punch is coming, you're deflecting it, punching, and then striking, right? We talked about how this isn't necessarily a block, even though it would state it in just about everything that you read, but that it doesn't make very much sense to hold a block, right? To punch and then hold a block, right? We talked about how typically uchi-uke comes from the waist, here and from here, yeah? But this comes from the shoulder, and it's hard and it's in place and you hold it. Typically that is, again, what you would look at as a soft tissue strike. So striking, so punching to the chest and then striking soft tissue right in here, okay? So again, it's punch and then strike down, punch and then strike down. Punch comes in from here, you grab it, pull it to the side over here, okay, this koshigamai, over to your hikite side, right? And then a back fist, elbow, knee, kick to the knee, kick to the outer thigh, or side kick, again. Varies and will depend on how close your opponent is to you based on that, right? Did you block this? Did you control this? Right? If you blocked it and they're still standing out here, well, then you have room to execute a good side kick, right? If they're right on top of you because you pulled them in, their head's going to be about right here, right? Based on their arm length. You're not going to have room for much, but you can throw this, and you can kick down to the shin, the knee, etc. Okay, so we talked about that part. All right, and then you immediately move to the Shutokan. And we talked about that just again, blocking, okay? And then striking or blocking the next, right? So a right punch comes in and you block it, you can control and strike to the carotid, or block, control, now you have a punch coming from the left, so you block it, control, and then strike to the carotid, okay? From there, you continue moving forward, keep your opponent backing up, right? You want to keep them on their heels, right, as they're backing up. And then nukite. We talked about that nukite being here to the chest, here to the sides of the throat, a throat grab, eye gouge, palm heel to the chin, palm heel to the nose. Any of those things will work, all right? So don't get locked into something that's very specific unless you want to, right? If the bunkai says, or if the kata says you're doing this and you want to stick to that, do that, okay? I'm just saying, don't make the street so narrow, right? It can be wide here. So this nukite can turn into palm heel, eye gouge, throat grab, strikes to the throat, okay? So keep your mind open. From there, the next thing that we did, and this is where we left off, is you do a turn, right? Where you either glide off this with the gate on, this kick maybe that's coming in, and then you turn and strike, yeah? All right, either to here or somewhere in between the head, the temple, the ear, the jawline, or the neck. Okay? So again, this strike. And we talked about it being this gate on, where you're swinging low and then strike, and that's what you do in the kata, right? I want you to remember that. Swing low in the kata. For the bunkai, it could be a number of things. It could be a swing low, but you could also see this punch coming from the right and you decide to block up here, control, and strike. Control, pulling into the hikite, and strike. Block, just keep it up, and then defend yourself as you then strike to there. All right? So a couple of different options there, and again, leaving you open to practice this kind of thing with your partner to make sure you have it down. If you don't have a partner, imagine what could possibly happen, right? And that's where we left off last week. And I probably shouldn't have left off at that one particular section because it is part of a longer section, right? We do this strike, and then we kick, and then we go to the manji-uke, yeah? So let's pick it up from there, all right? So we've done the nukite, yeah? Then we turn and we strike. And then we kick, and then we go to this manji-uke, right? So that kick, it is what it is, right? You've just struck your opponent here, somewhere in here. They've now turned this way, or they've absorbed that. This is all wide open, right? You've blocked their arm out here, right? They've got a punch out here and it's been blocked. Then you strike right here. This is all wide open for your front kick. So kick where you want, okay? It could be Gedan level, it could be Chudan level, it could be Jodan level. Depends again on how close you are to your opponent. Depends on your skill level. Right? Maybe you can only get that low kick. Maybe you can get that Chudan level, and maybe you can get that Jodan level, all right? But strike, kick. Now this could be a couple things, okay? It can be that you're continuing this strike to this opponent, right? So we have struck here, kicked them. It could be you're just throwing this fist up to kind of finish that person off. Could be, right? But it can also be that another opponent's coming from here, and you're just blocking a potential strike that's coming. Okay, from here, you're blocking it, striking there down to the groin, and then, right, what do we do next? We do this and draw slow. All right? So take it as you will, okay? Either you're finishing this opponent with this, and now you're working this opponent, which is a Gedan strike, and then grab, lift up the leg, okay? So as your opponent, I'm striking. I've got to strike here. Going to strike here, like a gyakuzuki, like a reverse punch, right? My right leg is forward, my left leg is up. You block with the top of your manji-uke. The bottom, strike to the groin. Then you pick up the leg and draw it to you. What's that do to your opponent? It's going to put them on their butt, right? You're going to lift this leg and they're going to fall. So let's turn it so that we're at this opponent here. You just kicked this opponent here, and now you're going, this left punch is coming, lock with your right, Gedan strike to the groin, go to lift the leg, push the body, dropping your opponent to the floor. All right? Hopefully that makes sense to you, okay? Because again, I'm kicking, or I am your opponent. So I'm going to punch, so I'm stepping, punching, that gets blocked. You strike me in the groin here, then you reach down and grab this leg, pushing my body at the same time, okay? Right? Because we go push to here. So you lift up this leg and push my body, I'm going down, okay? Down onto the butt. All right? So practice that, okay? I'll give you a few minutes here. Pause, work that out. Try it a couple times. If you have an opponent, you have a partner to work with, try that, right? Are you finishing off this person with this strike here, or is it that left that's coming in and you're kind of defending against it as you strike the groin, grab the leg, and dump your opponent, all right? So give you a few minutes, I'll meet you right back here. All right, so hopefully you got some good practice in there. Now let's move on to the next part, all right? And this is basically a repeat, right? Because we do this and come back to here. And then what's next? This again, the kick, the manjiuke, the strike, the dump of the opponent, and you end up standing here facing this direction, yes? Okay, so I'm not gonna repeat that. We know what that is because we just did it. Okay, so there's no reason to go over the bunkai for that again. So now we're standing in this position. And the next thing you do is you're standing here and you go to koshigamae and you kick, side kick, elbow strike. And then from here you do the same thing, right? Side kick, elbow strike, right? Now this harkens back to Heian Yandan. We've done this before, and we'll talk about it right here again. This is fairly easy, fairly simple, makes sense, right? You're standing here, you see an opponent moving straight to you. Not anymore, right? Just a quick side kick is all it takes. Maybe they're not moving toward you. Maybe they're standing in position and they're going to throw a punch, right? Excuse me, I'm sorry. Maybe they're throwing a right punch. So you're going to throw your hand up to make sure that hand doesn't hit you, creating distance, maybe even grabbing the hand, and then kicking, and then grabbing and throwing that elbow strike. Okay? That's what we explained in Heian Yandan. Same thing applies here. So again, from this position, right, you see the opponent coming at you, they're throwing that punch, grab the hand or keep it away from you by kind of moving this way. Leg comes up, side kick, move your hand down the arm to reach the back of the head, pull their head into your elbow. Standing back up, you do the same thing on the right hand side. Now again, that's nothing new. We've talked about before, in a lot of kata, what you do on the left, you do on the right. And it really has nothing to do with being attacked by multiple opponents. It really has to do with the fact that you're showing what I just did on the left, I can do on the right. So if you're attacking me from the left with a right punch, I can defend. Now let me show you how to do it if you're coming at me from the other side with a left-handed punch. It's just showing that you have the skill level to do it either direction. You're not focused on, well, I only work the left side of my body. I only work the right side of my body with right strikes and right blocks. Well, kata doesn't allow that, right? We're able to do it equally on both sides. So that's what that's for, okay? So, that's an easy one, like I said. And then you move right into the 4 Shotoukes. Again, we've talked about this. We've talked about this all the way back to Heian Shotokan, yeah? Because you go into 4 angles. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? All right, so nothing new here. Again, an opponent is coming, you block, control the arm, or don't, block straight into that karate, okay? Or you block, now they're coming with the left-handed punch, so you go to block that, all right? And now you can control them by pulling them over and striking that karate, and then striking again. Or it's 2 opponents, right? Block, control, strike, block, control, strike. They both make sense. Block, block, grab as they move in this direction, right? You're pulling them over here. Chop to the neck or the carotid, and then again. Okay? So it can work both ways, where you're really kind of dragging an opponent around. You blocked, now you're moving them over here, okay? And then you're finished with that last carotid chop with the ridge hand, that Shotokan, right? So again, all those moves we've done before, basically from Heian Yandan, Heian Shodan, and Heian Nidan even, right? We do it again, we do it in Heian Nidan, right? So, again, I'll give you some time here. Just want you to go over those. I'm not going to give, well, you don't need as much time, but you're controlling the video. So pause for as little or as long as you need. Just go over that quickly again and make sure you understand what's happening with the side kick, back fist, elbow strike, and the 4 Shotoukes that follow. All right? I'll meet you right back here. All right, very good. So hopefully you had enough time to practice that. I'm sure you did because you've done it before. Now this last technique that we're going to cover today, before we get into the ending section, because I think the ending section is very complex, and it's new techniques that you don't do in a lot of other kata, or Most of them you don't do in any other kata, and so therefore I want to spend a bit more time, so we'll do that in class 3. Today I just want to finish up with this one part here, and that is, so we've just done this Shotokan, and now you're doing this again. No need to explain, right? We know what this is. Shotokan, block, right up here, and then chop, block, control, chop, or gate on sweep, blocking the kick, and then the chop, right? Could be any one of those things, several things there. Your opponent's still standing in front of you, so from there you do the kick, my gating, again, your choice on level, gate on, chudan, jodan. In the kata, it is a jodan level kick. Just want to let you know. The front kicks in this kata are all jodan level. For the bunkai, it's wherever you can land that kick to make sure you're putting your opponent out of commission. Strike, kick, strike here. Okay, let me do that straight to you. Strike, kick, there. And this technique I tend to call the washing machine, and we do this again in another kata. What kata is that? It's Hanyanda. Yeah, at the exact same thing, right? We do this, kick, and bang. Okay, landing with that back fist. It's a key eye point in the kata for Heian Yanda. For this particular one, you do the same. Strike, which we talked about, kick, and now what you're basically doing is there's a punch coming. So you slap that punch down, another one coming, slap it down, and then strike with that back fist. And it doesn't even have to be punches. Right? You've just struck this opponent, so they've gone to punch here and got blocked. They got chopped somewhere right on here, then they got kicked. Okay? So now they're basically fighting, whatever they can do. They might get their hands off, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just, their hands are just kind of like, oh, I just got hit. You want to control that from that point forward, moving them back and ending the fight, right? Okay, we struck them, we kicked them, keep their hands down, keep their hands down, strike, okay? That back fist should go to the bridge of the nose, the chin, or the soft tissue on either side of the neck. Okay? Strike down. Then control the arm if you want. Pull back. Uchiuke. That's going to keep this punch from hitting you. And then double punch. You have destroyed this opponent. Right? They came at you with a punch. They got blocked. They got chopped. Then they got kicked. Then their hands couldn't do anything. And then they got a back fist to the bridge of their nose. Then they tried to punch. It got blocked over here with that uchiuke. And then punch, punch. Okay? That opponent doesn't want any more of you. Alright, so let's just kind of go through that sequence, because this is the last sequence that we're going through today. Because after that, right, we do that punch, punch, and then we turn and go down to the floor. All right, so we're going to save that for next week. So today, again, strike, kick, bat, bat, strike down. Doesn't have to be bat, bat, so let me just kind of revise that. Strike, kick, bat the hand down, back fist to the soft tissue of the neck, or the bridge of the nose, or the chin, strike, stepping back. If you need to, parry this arm out. There's a punch coming in, block it, punch, punch. Okay? Let's look at it in real time, regular speed. Okay, so we've gone from this Shotokan. All right? Try it a couple times. All right, try it with an opponent. Try it by yourself solo. Okay, work on being smooth. Then smooth becomes fast. Okay, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So again, working from here, strike, kick, strike, block, punch, punch. Okay? All right. So try that a couple times, right? Either with a partner or on your own, and think about your opponent. Think about their techniques. What are they doing, right? You're blocking here. Counter, kick, slap down this hand, back fist, Maybe you're doing something with this arm, maybe you're not. Another punch comes in, block it with uchi-uke. Punch, punch, you're done. All right, give it a try. I'll meet you right back here in a few minutes. All right, so hopefully that was enough time for you. That is all that I have for you today in class. Just for the sake of going through the kata, let's go through the kata one more time together, okay? And then we'll wrap up class for today. So I don't need to talk anymore, let's just do that. All right, so let's do the kata. Your own speed and pace again. We're not going through this by the numbers. I'm not waiting for you, you're not waiting for me. Let's get through the kata. When we're finished, I'll meet you right back in the middle of class. Ready? Yoi, subarachi, right, yoi. And now it's kata. Kanku dai. Your own speed and pace. Ajime. And yame. All right, very good. Let's come back to center of class. Yoi, subarachi, right, yoi, seiza. All right, today's meditation, take any part of what we've learned today and go through the bunkai as if you have an opponent directly in front of you. All right, ready? Mokuso. Mokuso yame, sensen yurei, tate, yoi, subarachi, right, yoi, os. All right, students, thank you for joining me for this class today. Again, part 2 of 3, so next week we will hit and finish the kata Kanku dai. We're going to go through the kata probably at least 3 times, so you're going to get winded. And again, we're going to pick up where we left off. We'll review the entire thing that we've learned up to this point, and then go through the entire, or finish up with what we haven't gone through as far as the bunkai is concerned. All right, same format. Give you time to pause the video, work with a partner, work with some stuff on your own, see how that works out for you, come back to the video and pick it up from there. All right, hopefully you're enjoying this format. Hopefully it's working out for you. Other than that, we will see you next week. Os.